wanna know, get into the flow. Hop onto the podcast, chillin' with the bros. Cause the RRIP never misses at a show. So if you coming, then you better up the pole. Rambling, these boys they always rambling. They always here hammering. Cameraman, cop the lens. Dinner served up by the chef. We on the net to represent. Raiders here for Texas Tech. We the Ramblin Raiders. Get your money up, then talk to me later. We living life.
Chef in the lab.
Hey, I'm just in
cooking
here
up some locks.
Hey, I went 4-0 last week. I'm cooking up some more locks, so y'all better ride and you better be ready. Yes, chef.
Enjoy it. And most shows be fake, but we McCoy.
Vegas slipping with my max play. SMU +1. Take the points against U of H. Easy hitter.
Jeff, Joe, and Lane, about to run it so you know ya. Run it. About to run it so you know ya. Jeff, Lane, Joe. Yeah, this the Raiders.
I love dubstep. Find out everything runs through.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the RRIP. Welcome here. It's the RRIP powered by. Welcome here, man. We're really glad that y'all are here. The RRIP is powered by Ramblin Raiders Entertainment. Tonight's topic, we're talking about Grant McCasland emerging as the top choice front runner for the Texas Tech head coaching job. So if that audio is quality, and the sound is good, picture's good, go ahead and hit us with a like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit that bell and make sure you are subscribed. Also, we're on Apple Pod and Spotify again, so make sure you go subscribe there. I don't know if it's subscribing or whatever it's called, but drop us go like and make sure you're tuned in and you're downloading our content. If you choose to, just listen to the audio. And then what else, man? Oh, yeah, we got Facebook. Yeah. Ramblin Raiders Podcast is the page. We have Twitter at Ramblin Raiders. We have Instagram at Ramblin Raiders. And then our TikTok is at Ramblin Raiders. So
and we follow us.
Website. That's right. Follow us on also. I don't even do the website anymore. Like too much plugging in the intro. But yeah, our website is ramblinraiders.com. All the plugs have been dealt, and here we are, baby. Most importantly, the YouTube channel, Ramblin Raiders Media. Make sure you're subscribed there. But here we are. Joining me, I have the usual suspects. A couple of casuals here. Laney's Locks and our boy, Bring It On Home, Joe B.
Bring it on home, Joe B. Bring it on home.
Bring it on home, Joe B. Hey, dude, how the hell have you been, man? I started getting worried about you. I thought I was going to have to go put out, lost and found friend posters.
Yeah, I was in Vegas. I thought you were going to put in an Amber Alert when I went missing, but I needed a couple weeks to recover before I could come back and get back on the pod.
Hey, I get it, man. Sometimes you got to unwind. Like the pod will just stress you out like that, trying to keep up with all the mayhem that is Texas Tech athletics and sports. I mean, for your segment, sports betting, you like hit a couple bad losses there. You got to really go reevaluate and find yourself. So sounds like Joe just went on a sabbatical. Joe
yeah.
B.
I had to go back to my roots, back to Vegas and my natural habitat, just kind of get back to square one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. How's your bee farm doing up in that snow?
Bee farm, it's a huge
They have been producing honey lately, huh?
We're honeyless. EPJ has no honey.
Keep working those bees, man, and they'll over time they'll produce. If you just show them a little bit of love, man, you got to give them a little bit of love and be tender with them, dude. But Joe, it's good to have you back for real. I was about to put out an Amber Alert. I got nervous when I didn't hear from you for 2 weeks, but we're glad to have you back on the RRIP. And then I got to get to Laney's Locks here, who also was MIA there for a couple of days. Aloha.
Aloha. How's everybody doing?
What was Hawaii like, man? I see you didn't come back too much tan.
I look tan, don't I?
A little bit, like your forehead got a good coat.
Yeah, everything else too.
Yeah, no, just the whole thing. How was it, man? Did you
It was really good.
have a good time with mom and dad and the missus?
Saw them there, yeah, and then shredded some waves, shredded gnar out there. It was pretty sick.
He claims he rode the Bonanza North Shore Pipeline.
Yeah, I was on the Bonsai Pipeline, just shredding it up with some locals.
I love it, man. Before we go off on too much of a tangent, it's good to have all the boys back. Shout out to Davion and Lone Raider Podcast in the chat. Y'all get it going. Sounds like America. I'm assuming American baseball is making some moves because Davion is letting us hear it in the chat. Can't hear Big Pick Joe. I should have asked that to start because that would have been... Yeah, that was a concern that I had coming into this.
Oh, no.
This chaos right here.
I'll have to work on my sign language.
That was it. You got it. That last one was it. It just came through. I just heard it.
And Joe, he sounded good?
Yes.
Joe, keep talking.
Test.
All right, wait. It's delayed.
Test.
So he was doing all this hand shit. Hold on, because it's super delayed.
Joe, you gotta keep talking.
Yeah, that last one was it. It
Test.
just came through.
Test. Yo.
Joe, you
My
sound
name
good?
is
Yes.
Joe.
Joe, keep talking.
Hello.
Wait, he's talking.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
he sounds fine,
So he was doing all this hand shit.
but it's echoey. God, are you guys just being high maintenance right now? Here, scoot these back a little bit.
Howdy.
I think he's good.
Last one was it. Test. Yo.
Yeah, he sounds fine.
Fine.
Dude, you guys been pulling our leg this whole time?
He's fine. All right, we continue on.
Wow, man. I think it's, I don't know if it was always like that, but it literally, that's what the settings were on. So,
Alright, let's run it.
all right, here we go. Great. Now y'all got my ADD, OCD ass, like, okay. A little bit more down. Okay, I think that's pretty
Maybe they were
solid.
hearing the echo through my laptop too.
They're what? Yeah. I think it sounds fine. I'm just happy that we have 10 to 11 people watching this this chaotic live fix right here. So I think we're good. Let us know in the chat. But from what we're hearing on Lane's computer, it sounds like the audio is quality. So finally, I'm gonna have to go back. It's gonna make my life hell trying to edit that tomorrow and get that clipped out. I don't know. It seems like more people enjoy watching this struggle with technology sometimes. But we're going to break down the news that came out today about Texas Tech after a few weeks of searching, having the search committee kind of go out, feel the waters, and look into some other candidates looking to potential candidates. It appears that they have zeroed in on UNT's men's basketball coach, third-round winner of the NIT against Oklahoma State, Grant McCasland. Instant reactions, really. I mean, initial reactions. I know the news broke today, so this is fresh. It's kind of something that's been on everybody's mind. It's been all over Twitter. How are we feeling about it? I'll start with you, Joe, since you've been, the root of all of our problems with technology since you've been in my for 2 weeks. I want to hear your opinion on old Grant.
I think it's a safe bet. I don't hate it. He's been pretty successful at UNT, but we'll see what he can do in the Big 12. I will point out, what was it, 2020 when he was a 13th seed and knocked off Purdue in the first round of the tournament, and which is similar to Chris Beard, who was at Arkansas Little Rock, who also knocked down Purdue. So maybe these guys can have similar success at Tech.
Also, shout out and RIP Big Dave, man. What's up with Purdue? Just always being they're always the key to the Cinderella story, man. They're the one that's handing out
the trash can of NCAA March Madness.
Yeah, well, they're always the one handing out the glass slipper whenever it comes to the first round of the NCAA tournament. Man, they just can't. They can't hang, dude, with a lot of these mid majors, especially not FDU. Shout out Coach Tobin. How about Coach Tobin just delivering a fatal blow to what's that guy's name? Matt Painter. Is that their coach?
Yeah.
Coach Painter, dude.
Some say he just really wanted to go fishing.
He got out coached by a guy named Coach Tobin. And I can respect that at the end of the day. You know, my initial thought on this is really close to Joe's, and that's that it's a safe hire. I don't hate the pick. I mean, Lane and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's not. It wasn't our first choice. I'll be, own up to that and admit that. But I mean, you look at him and his track record, his resume. If not Texas Tech, he is in line to make that jump into the P6, right? He's on his way up. It's kind of a matter of when, not if, when it comes to Coach McCasland. And I'll just say this for Texas Tech fans tuning in. If you enjoy a slow, methodical pace with great defense and limited offense, this is your guy. The same thing we've been watching for the last 5 years. No offense, grinded out defense, boring, slow, sluggish basketball.
At the end of the day,
we're here for it.
For me, that doesn't matter as much. At the end of the day, if we're winning games, I don't care how you play, right? If you're getting it done like Chris Beard was, that tenure he had at Tech. If you're playing that way and you're playing slow and you're winning games, you're going to Sweet 16s, you're making Elite 8 runs, I could care less. The flip side to it is if you're losing and you're playing that style, it gets old really quick. So you have to, you have to win with it. My initial reaction to the hire, though, was meh. I mean, if we hire him, great. It's a B hire for me. Not great. Not a home run hire. Not a horrible hire. It's just going to be a wait and see if he can get it done at this level.
Yeah. So let's talk about how we got here, right? Talking about today, it was, I believe Red Raider Sports had put out an article behind a paywall, and we don't pay for content. I mean, that's just a personal decision for me, but, I'm not going to pay for Texas Tech content. Whenever you can get premium Texas Tech content for free through the Ramblin Raiders. Goodman puts a tweet out, kind of leaks it or whatever, saying that after, and his verbiage, it said, set Texas Tech Twitter off, kind of put him on fire, saying, because he said after missing on some big names, Texas Tech's lead candidate is, Grant McCasland from UNT. For me, and this is maybe a take, like I might be in the minority here when it comes to this kind of viewpoint, but a lot of Tech fans were upset about that, and I get it. It's Goodman. He's going to shit on us. That's what he does. He's saying basically you couldn't get the big hire, you whiffed on or missed on some big name opportunities. I was excited and relieved to know that this search committee went out and swung for the fences. They did exactly what we had asked and hoped they would do in that episode where we talked about potential coaching hires. We said, make them say no. Why not go talk to Sean Miller? Why not go talk to Rick Pitino? Why not go talk to
Jay Wright out of retirement?
Yeah, Jay Wright. Shoot the moon, baby. He's out there doing those AT&T commercials now.
We'll hire him on his iPad where he comes and just
the other one,
the iPad thing.
Oh my God, LSU Wade, man. Will Wade, said go out and make Will Wade say no. We wanted them to go out, talk to these big name guys who have already had success. Buzz Williams is a guy that I know Joe's about to touch on. Sounds like they might have talked to Buzz as well. Make these guys say no, and it seems like the committee did that. So I saw Goodman's tweet and didn't hate it necessarily because it gave me relief knowing that, hey, here we are. And, this search committee went out. They tried to hit a home run. It looks like they're kind of working their way back down the list. And, again, of all those sort of quote-unquote unprovens in the mid-major, Grant McCasland was one of the lead guys. Yeah. One of the two guys we had really discussed and enjoyed. So, that's what we wanted from the committee in the first place. I do want to take a minute to provide a counter narrative and sort of a counter stream of thought in regards to this idea that's been floating around and I've seen it kind of on Twitter today, floating around in some sense that we just Texas Tech needs a squeaky clean hire. And the chat might be going off here in a minute because I know there's others that have different opinions on this, and that's fine. We can all disagree and sort of have our different outlooks.
just Squeaky's clean guy.
But I kind of want to challenge people to really maybe reframe the way they look at this and not overreact to what happened at Texas Tech and with Mark Adams departing from the program. Yes, as far as his attempt to quote scripture, was it misguided? Was it foolish? Absolutely. Was it in poor taste? Absolutely. But it wasn't an end-all, be-all TMZ moment, shocking revelation and no pun intended, bringing Coach Adams down. Like we said, had he not had the off-court issues with keeping relationships with donors, with family matters going on, had he not had those distractions outside of basketball, and he comes in and just sincerely apologizes for what he did and pointing out that he made a mistake.
He would have won games.
And we're a potential NIT, which I think we were, or a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. He survives this. This isn't something that it's unsurvivable, like unrecoverable, right? Like you can recover from this.
As a coach, he had poor player relations. He had poor relations with his donors and higher ups at Texas Tech, and that'll kill you right there. If you're not absolutely winning national championships and you have those two things, you're done.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the first one I got? I looked over.
Poor player relations, relations with donors, and you're not winning games. That's the 3 strikes. You're out.
So that was the end all be all. But at the same time,
we don't need a squeaky clean guy. Like, I mean, if we were to bring in Will Wade or Sean Miller, who've had issues in the past of potentially paying players and things like that, that's now legal, first of all, and we don't need some guy who's just never been in trouble.
So here's my kind of coach. Here's my kind of perspective on it is every hire you go into is ideally you're hiring an upstanding, decent person, right? Like, I don't think that Kirby is sitting there looking at a list of people and going, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to take a chance on this piece of shit, man. Like, I'm just going to have to do it. Like, it's every candidate they're looking at ideally is going to be a solid person at the end of the day. No one goes into a hire trying to hire somebody who's going to bring baggage to the program and tank the program. So, I don't want to say, and Lane is back with us now. I mean, it's one of those things where, like Kirby's not going to, these in any college coaching hire, they're not going to just go into it trying to hire somebody who's not qualified as far as a relationship standpoint is concerned. So we don't need a squeaky clean hire. We need someone who's going to elevate our program and win basketball games and do it the right way. Do it by building and cultivating relationships with players and with your alumni and with your big donors, doing it the right way. Because I guarantee you, if Grant McCasland is hired, inevitably is hired as the next head coach at Texas Tech, and he's a squeaky clean guy and everybody's on board and it's everyone's super rah-rah around the fact that he's as good as they come, and then he comes out and has 3 terrible years and we're bottom of the Big 12, everyone who's wanting to, is saying, oh, we need to be careful about who we hire is going to be sitting there going, why did we hire him in the first place? Our basketball team is trash. He needs to go.
Not only does he go, Kirby also gets put on the hot seat. For me, this hire, he's hiring, is a B hire in my opinion. This is all in my opinion. If Grant McCasland comes in and does not do well, Kirby Hocutt is now on the hot seat when it comes to hiring these guys, because that would be 3 misses.
Tough, yeah.
With 1 good hire so far, and one in the past, 5 years, I guess, 6. Whenever we hired Beard,
yeah.
To me, the ramifications of all this of hiring Grant McCasland, if we go forward with that, is I think it really puts notice around Kirby. Is if he does well, Kirby's in the clear. If not, you're on the hot seat now for Kirby.
Yeah, Joe's been awful quiet, man. I mean, a man of scandal himself. He's got to be careful about how he proceeds with this conversation.
I was thinking he can miss one more time if he brings like a Pac-12 merger or something like that.
Right. It's got to be a big name, but see if he hires Grant McCasland, that's not a big name.
But
I'm saying if he can bring
It's funny.
Some of those Pac-12 schools, like a Arizona State, something like that. I think that would save his job.
So it's funny, y'all are kind of going a different direction here on.
What do you mean, like bring the teams into the conference?
No, he's saying like bring like a coach.
If he did a Pac-12 Big 12 merger, I think he could put it on that.
So you're saying
that's not solely on him.
no?
though.
Joe's thinking outside the box. You're saying if he leads negotiations
No,
on
he
a
like leads the negotiations in that.
y'all are.
Sure.
I think he could whip on another basketball coach.
Hey, why the hell not?
Hey, so to end this point, and I didn't mean for us to really break off into kind of down these different paths and subsects, but ultimately, I think Kirby in this this committee's mindset going into this is they're trying to hire a stand-up guy. Obviously, the squeaky clean thing is cool as long as they hire someone who's also competent and can get it done. Squeaky clean sounds great until unless your program is trash and you're losing, and then it's not going to have the same impact, and fans are going to be quick to turn on whoever this hire is because he's not producing results. And I will say the other thing that I enjoy about Kirby, and I wanted to make this, just kind of point this out for anyone who is maybe doubting him or of this mindset. Look at what happened with Marlene Stallings, right? This hire takes place, there's abuse, and she actually, I think, was acquitted, or it ended up being dropped, or they couldn't prove it in trial. But nonetheless, severed relationships with players, abuse is alleged, and there's a lot of anger around what was going on with the Lady Red Raider basketball program. What does he do? He goes out and hires Coach Gurley, who now has the Lady Raiders in the third round of the NIT. I think their first postseason experience in quite some time. He rebounded successfully. Softball is was another problem program where you had a coach that was being called out for abusive tendencies towards players and malpractice and being a bad coach. Go look at what our softball team's doing right now. They're breaking records and beating ranked teams on the road for the first time in a long time, doing amazing things. He goes out and he rebounds and makes a good hire. So again, let's give Kirby some credit. He's after bad hires, he's been able to go out and respond well. But just this notion is, don't fall in love with the idea. I challenge you to kind of think a little bit outside the box and have a different perspective of, squeaky clean's great if they're also able to produce on the court. And I'm not saying you should go out and hire a total POS and like sell your soul, but of the candidates that we've been talking about, I don't think there's one out there like that. Sean Miller's allegations and Will Wade's allegations are very identical. They're financial. They're not. Yes, what they did was wrong at the time. It's completely obsolete in today's game of college basketball. I'm not going to crucify them and hold them to the fire for doing something that other coaches were doing at prestigious programs and this didn't get reprimanded for. So
Bill Self.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, I trust this committee with whatever their decision is going to be. Real quick, Joe, before we kind of talk about Grant McCasland, man, I know you had some other ideas, even though we all know Grant McCasland's the lead on this. He's the favorite, the front runner, if you will. But who do you like, Joe? I know you weren't around to tell us about who you wanted Tech to pursue during that episode because you were on your Vegas sabbatical.
These guys are worth just a look, and my gut tells me that a lot of these people on this list they've probably already talked to, but I would look at Andy Kennedy at UAB. He has their program on the up. Obviously knows how to recruit. He's got Jordan Walker, Gaines, the guy from LSU. He's got a good team over there.
Yeah, they had a good season as well this year.
Yeah,
Just missed the tournament.
He's got them as this year's Cinderella in the tournament. FAU looks pretty solid.
That's who beat UAB to go to the tournament.
Yep, and also for the Bob Knight coaching tree. Just fun fact. And then Paul Mills, I've seen this name kind of thrown around. That he led Oral Roberts run in the tournament a couple years ago when they knocked down Ohio State. Baylor assistant right now, and then you talked about Buzz Williams. I think he would be definitely an upgrade from Mark Adams. I would take his experience at Virginia Tech and Marquette over at Grant McCasland.
Yeah.
Personally. And then the last one was Kellen Sampson at UH. I think he hasn't had the head coaching experience, but I think he's young and a fiery guy. He could be an interesting hire. But those were just my 5 guys.
Yeah, to your point about hiring the Sampson's son as an assistant, if we're going to hire anyone's kid, I think we should rather go for Patino's kid.
I'd take either one.
UNLV.
UNLV.
Yeah, but I think either of them might be decent options. But
Yeah.
who was the one before you were saying? Oh, Buzz. Back to Buzz. I mean, Buzz Williams does have more high-level action than Grant McCasland. He's coached at, the P5 level, unlike McCasland has. So that boosts his resume automatically, in my opinion,
Yeah.
over McCasland. He's been to an Elite Eight, like Joe pointed out before the pod. So
Into Elite Eight. I will say, like, the fact that he tries to wear a 3-piece suit, he's not Italian. I don't necessarily get down with that.
That takes him from an A- higher to a C+ right there.
Yeah.
Just that alone.
McCasland's lucky because that gives him the edge slightly. So let's break it down real quick and talk about Grant McCasland here in the kind of final minutes of tonight's show. He's also, same with Paul Mills, as Joe was pointing out, he's a former Baylor assistant under Scott Drew for 5 years. He was there from, I think, 2011 to 2016. He coached 1 year at Arkansas State. And, I think they were third in the conference that year, immediately got picked up by UNT. Also worth noting, because I do think that this is something that for a young coach is notable, and that's that when he was at Midwestern D2, he took them to 2 back-to-back D2 Elite Eights.
Elite Eights.
And again, for a young guy, that shows to me signs of encouragement.
Never forget, though, Chris Beard did one better.
Oh,
Took
wait.
Angelo State to Final Fours.
Hold on, I just forgot something too, and this might be the most important element, key element around this hire that makes me somewhat lean in favor of him now. His first year at UNT, he won the CBI. He's a CBI champion.
He's a CBI champion, and you can't put into words the experience that gives you.
Oh my God! I mean, you walk away from that experience and you're just ready to take on the world, and really, whatever happens in your career after that is kind of non-apparent. I mean, it's non.
We're joking, but
not important.
We're joking, but
He's a CBI champion.
At the same time, it is important to know that he can win tournaments or make runs in tournaments. He's a good tournament coach. There is a feel to that.
Yeah.
I think at times. So that does kind of bode well for him.
Dude, he won a CBI championship in his first year at UNT. And then while he was at UNT for the last 6 years, he has gone to the round of 32, as Joe pointed out, beating Purdue to get there. And I forget what year that was, maybe 2018 or it might have been 19. But anyways,
The first year of COVID, the tournament was only in Indianapolis.
okay, so
I was in the building watching the 13 seed UNT take down Purdue.
oh, so you got to see it live.
You've seen him coach live, Joe, is what you're telling us.
I mean, in that game too, Matt Painter got
Yeah.
And Matt Painter's a good coach.
Hell, bring Coach Tobin on as an assistant just to teach him how to go fishing. He teaches the team how to go fishing. Not many fishing holes in Lubbock, though. So in his 6 years at UNT, he went to the round of 32 once, and he's gone to he went to 2 NIT second round appearances and lost, and then he just got done winning the third round of the NIT, going to the what are they in the semifinals now of the NIT. To me, I get it; it's not technically progress, but he's been in the postseason now for 4 years running. His teams that I'm about to break down for y'all have statistically gotten better year in and year out. The more I see that, the more encouraged I am that he can come and implement that success at Texas Tech. His style, if you were wondering about that, is what Tech fans have been accustomed to during the duration of the Beard and Adams tenure. Slow, methodical, grinded out defensive basketball. Not the prettiest, but it gets results.
One concern I'll say is that he's only got his one conference championship, one tournament appearance. They've had some good teams at UNT the past years he's been there. He's been a part of that. He's built those teams up, but only one conference championship to get to the tournament. A little worrisome. He probably had some teams that could have made it.
But hey, don't forget about that CBI championship.
But they did win a CBI.
Hey, I take it back. Not 3 NITs, guys. So, and Joe's right. 2020, he went to the second round. Last year, they went to the NIT second round, and now they're in the NIT
Fourth round.
Fourth
Or
round.
the Final Four.
Quarterfinals. So, look, he's dancing in the postseason. He's got his teams playing, postseason basketball, and that's impressive. It'll be a style of play that Texas Tech fans are used to. I know some fans are a little worried about not having the offensive, paralysis or capabilities that we've kind of were promised this year, right? Is that going to affect the portal? Are we going to lose guys like Pop Isaacs because we're hiring a more defensive-oriented coach? Those are questions that really can't be answered right now, that we can only speculate on.
And only Kirby will know the price he's paid.
And only Kirby will know the price he's paid. I just can't believe people were looking at, thinking Kirby was looking at a list and going, I think I'm going to have to take a chance on that piece of shit right there, man.
Not take a chance on that piece of shit.
The fact that we're thinking Kirby is not vetting these guys pretty intensely. Of course, every hire, no AD goes into a hire trying to hire someone with with baggage that you can't recover from.
Yeah.
Just an unsurmountable amount of BS to deal with. So last but not least, I did want to read these kind of stats off that I saw earlier. Somebody posted on Twitter. I thought it was interesting. When you look at, for our analytical individuals out there that like to look at adjusted offense from Kim Palm,
or stats.
There's a couple different ones, but Kim Palm's the one that's most, I think, readily available and used the most, or is used more frequently than the other ones. 2017 adjusted offense, and is this when he won the? Oh my God, no! You have to hire him right now on the spot. On the spot,
CBI.
You hire him when he won the CBI. His team was the 320th overall team when it comes to adjusted offense and adjusted defense.
That checks out because the CBI is the best team in the best of the worst teams out there.
And he was the best of the worst.
Yes.
I like it. I like his style already. Let's go ahead and land him. Their adjusted offense that year was 316, adjusted defense 294. 2018, he takes a jump from 320 to overall. When you look at the accumulative there with adjusted offense and adjusted defense, from 120 to the 146th ranked, with improvement in the adjusted offense and adjusted. Well, oddly enough, there were 142 in adjusted offense, 142 in adjusted defense. It's kind of rare. From 146, they moved to 158, so they got a little worse in 2019. And then in 2020, when they went to the round of 32, he jumped from 158 to 77 with an adjusted offense of 34. It's pretty damn good overall, better than I think what Tech's seen recently. And an adjusted defense of 146. Then he kind of flipped the script in 121, took it from 77th ranked team overall to 72nd ranked team. Adjusted offense at 101, adjusted defense at 48. So the defense started to become more of a priority for him. Went from 72 to 57, and this year they're the 37th most efficient team when you look at adjusted offense, adjusted defense. All this to be said, all those numbers, stats to be thrown out there for the point that he has improved for the most part year in and year out from a total standpoint. It's not always in just defense or just offense. His teams get slightly better overall in their ranks. So to me, that shows signs of encouragement that he's able to sustain, positive production through longevity over a longer period of time.
True story.
Joe? Phil? Hold on, Joe, do you concur? I can't believe we're 38 minutes in and we spent it had to be a good 10 minutes trying to figure out Joe's audio.
Yeah, and people enjoyed that.
And people are still telling me.
And sometimes you pay extra for it.
People are still telling me that Joe's audio is weak, man. We're going to have to get that figured out. Joe, I need you to hire some technician to come in here and take care of that for us.
I think.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to put that GoFundMe on Twitter. Wait. Where's Bluetooth?
Okay. We have an IT guy in jail?
Yeah, man, you didn't hear about Billy Bob? Yeah, man. Go free our boy. Free our boy Billy, man. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have an IT guy, and we don't have any member of the Ramblin Raiders team that is currently behind bars. So, hey, let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way, guys. Connected. Here we go. So I'm going to cue up our outro music. Some final thoughts as we close out this rip.
Yeah.
that.
Buzz Williams is a Jobin.
He's a joke.
He might be a good coach, but he is a Jobin.
In Grant McCasland we trust.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what he can do.
Apparently it's in the Groupon boys, it's Kirby's ass.
It's Kirby's
No,
ass
it's
is
not
on the
to
line.
me. I mean, I think it's going to be an issue if
Hey,
it's
it's not your
bad.
ass on the line. It's Kirby's ass on the line.
But I will say Kirby has shown that he has responded well when there's hires that don't work out in a short period of time. Stallings, I apologize, I'm blanking on the name
Let's
of the
also
softball
not
coach.
forget he hired Matt Wells.
But then he recovered.
But he recovered, but he hired Matt Wells.
He did, but that's the whole point I'm trying to make is that when he makes a sus hire or a bad hire, so far he's proven that he can bounce right back and get a decent, or not even a decent, I mean, with Joey Maguire, we're talking about in McCasland we trust, in Joey Maguire
Right
we trust.
now, in my
He's hiring good candidates after the fact.
I'm talking about the big three, right? In my eyes, he's got. He wasn't here when Tadlock was hired.
I think he was.
Okay, so he's got two to the good, two to the bad.
I believe he has Tadlock under his belt.
He's got two to the good and two to the bad.
Kirby does a lot, man. I don't want to see Kirby go.
No, I don't. I like Kirby. I'm just saying I think it's his ass. People are going to start coming after him if this goes wrong.
If this tanks, I do agree that it's going to.
And I hate to see that happen.
One last point I do want to make too, and actually I can make this if McCasland is hired eventually. Now the Mark Adams, Chris Beard tenure is over. I mean, the golden age of Texas Tech basketball, what we've been accustomed to and enjoying for the last 6 years. I mean, this year obviously isn't lumped into that, but last year and the 4 years before that, that is done now. There is no reminiscence of that era on this team. So if Grant McCasland does get hired, I think this is a point that needs to be made and hopefully something that would be evident to him. He's going to have to hit the ground running and come in and do a kind of Chris Beard like.
But he's not going to have what even Chris Beard had.
No, he's not. It's going to be an uphill battle. But what I'm saying is he's going to have to come in and promote and basically go full blown Jackie Moon when it comes to advertising and promoting Texas Tech basketball. Because if he comes in and has a bad year where we're floating around NIT, I mean the standard is now, what the standard is and the norm for Texas Tech basketball and what is again, I keep saying it over and over again, but what we've become accustomed to, what Texas Tech fans are familiar with and kind of see as the norm now, if you don't meet those expectations early on, I hate to say it because we've seen it with football. We saw it happen with football. Texas Tech fan support will slowly trickle down and drop off a little bit. He needs to come in with a lot of energy and really get engaged with the students, engaged in promotions. Make sure that you bring that energy that Tubby Smith and that Chris Beard and Mark Adams, he kind of got the residual effects from what Chris Beard left, but you got to make sure that you come in and really bring that energy, because if you don't and we are middle of the road for a year or two, I think your Texas Tech is going to lose their home court advantage that we've really built up over the last couple years. So with that, boys, we'll close it out.
Right you are.
Remember,
we got to hire him first.
We got to hire him. It might not happen. Hey, they can still go hire our boy Ulrich Malaji from Kansas State. Those were our two options for the unknowns. He's still my number one. This sounded like shit, by the way, on the audio, so hopefully it sounds better. Joe Lame, we out. Bring it on home, Joe B.
Bring it on home, Joe B. Bring it on home.
Bring it on home, Joe B. Guns up. Salute. We'll see y'all next time.